thought it was like, it looks like wax. I was like, is that wax on my floor? Is it clean?
3 acres and they wanted to separate.
They want to separate it. Equal parcels. I think it's out on Elm.
That's alright. Well, I don't care if it's snow, I do care that it's, it was like candle wax or something.
I should know, I had to look up the zoning to see what district it was.
Well, that would be in the township or rural section belongs to already, but maybe I'm wrong. But
Did you print your picture off yet?
like that are stressed.
Did you print your picture off yet?
No, how do I do that? I thought you were messing around.
I misunderstood that. No, I don't print them. I'll send it in.
Okay.
I send it to a printer.
Can they do that, like Aeroswift?
I send it to Nation's Photo Lab.
Then I pay you.
Then you can pay me that. Yes.
Oh, I thought shit.
Anyone else cold?
Thirsty?
I heard it. I don't want to get any older yet, that's why.
Where's Lindsay? Las Vegas?
He's not here today.
Yeah, it's 5 feet.
Did everybody find the sign-in sheet? Is it getting circulated around?
What time are we gonna do this?
2 minutes, too?
2 minutes too? Are you keeping track?
3 more minutes.
Okay.
So I'm looking at my phone, so it should only take a minute to pledge allegiance, so maybe
We gotta take a couple seconds to stand and sit. Take some of us a little bit of time.
7:58, 7:59.
Okay.
They aren't gonna do it, all. I don't think they're gonna do it, it's not on the, should be on the agenda.
Yeah, 5%, a little more, but then next year, I'll get some securities on my increase or I'll just pay it.
You've got the same damn shoes Rosemary had on this. She came to work with it.
Yeah, 5 is just right.
They stick. Close enough?
I got 2 minutes too.
You got 2 minutes too? Wanna do it now?
You wanna do it? We're gonna do the national anthem. Or the pledge. Okay? We're gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance before the meeting starts.
Yeah, well.
We're gonna do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
motion to accept the printed minutes of the January 3rd meeting.
So moved.
There's support.
Support it.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Public comment.
I have a comment.
We are gonna add Phil, tomorrow to the, agenda, so those of you that do have an agenda, Phil is, gonna be on the agenda for the zoning, or the planning commission, chair.
I have a comment.
You have a,
It's in regards to last month's meeting minutes. Todd, you mentioned that you paid over $3,000 for per diem. Can you tell us what that's for?
That's the board's wages every month.
Don't they get paid payroll taxes, payroll?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Don't they get a payroll check?
We get a payroll check,
So how do you call that per diem?
it's the meetings that you show, that we attend. We get a gross check minus taxes.
Right, so what's the
The
per diem?
$3,000 is the net check to the 5 board members, and then you'll see that every month there's a FICA payment, usually around $1,200 to $1,400.
Is that kosher for reporting purposes?
For what?
Is that kosher for reporting purposes when it's actually payroll? I'm just wondering, cause I wouldn't call that per diem, I would call that payroll and taxes.
I don't know, it's always been referred to as the board's per diem. No, I think normally if you don't show up for a meeting, then normally you wouldn't get paid, if you're quoting it as per diem. But it is the board's payroll.
any other questions?
I've been to, sorry, Jamie Snyder, Cato Township. I've been to other meetings where they have actually handed out the financial parts, like they put it on the back of the paper. Is there any way that we could have that, or is that
Financial parts such as,
like your bills and stuff like that?
We're gonna read them in just a few minutes.
Well, I know, but a lot of them have them already printed off, so it's, you know, you guys don't have to read them out loud then. Everybody can just look at them.
it's possible.
Just a question.
Any other comments?
Is this still for public comment?
Yes. Except, only things on the agenda right now. Hearing none, we'll move on. Can we have the, February bills?
Sure may. The first bill is DTE for gas for the building here is $133. There are 3 consumers bills for electric for the community center, the street lights, and the cemetery. $130.102, $155.35, and $29.94. Verizon for phone service, $154.95. MTA State, if you remember a couple months ago, I did the MTA virtual ARPA meeting, and I had to send them a payment. Apparently I shorted them $61. Cantwell Hardware is $25.36. Foster Swift Attorney Firm is $2,034.68. Brian for the cemetery was $560. Water bill here is $41.22. Casser Point for internet is $75.24, and Alex, the cleaning lady, was $50 for 5 hours. The clerk and treasurer's rental reimbursement was $150. The board per diem for the month is $31.87.30. The zoning administrator was $481.83. Both assessors, Deb and Lisa is $1203.52. Reimbursed Tamarack Public Library $77.50 for managing the community center. Lake Michigan CPA services $100 even for W-2s and 1099s. The FICA payment this month is $1887.96. KCI for assessor postage was, for the tax bills, was $954.24. And we had 4 board members complete mandatory training for $310. And then we had a treasurer's postage, $464. Grand total bills for the month is $13,621.63.
Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report and pay the bills?
I accept the clerk's report.
Support? I like treasurer's upset.
That's all right.
Ed Fireboard, he's my treasurer. Here he's my clerk. Did you support? Any discussion? favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Treasurer's report,
Cato checking beginning balance was $325,930.93. We have an income of $30,933.32. Our bills total $13,621.63. Our ending balance is $343,242.62. Fire,
Sorry.
did you want to comment on that?
Go ahead.
Fire district, our beginning balance was $991.75. We have an income of 4 cents. Our ending balance is $991.79. Honeymoon Heights lights, our beginning balance is $571.12. We have an income of 2 cents. Our ending balance is $571.14. Our CDs, our beginning and ending balance is the same at $107,125.80.
I make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Supported.
moved and supported. Any questions of the treasurer? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Zoning report.
And for the month of, December, there was one permit issued, that was for a pole barn at 7106 Cutler Road, and, that's about it. Wanna go through the, haven't looked at the violation, section for about a month. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything due or
Maybe
time's
it's
up.
covered up with snow.
Yeah, well, I'll go out there with a shovel.
Oh.
But otherwise, that's about it.
Any questions of Dave? New business, Phil.
Yeah. Thanks for allowing me to take a few minutes of my time to present to you. According to MTA guidelines, responsibilities, as chair of the planning commission, it says that I need to present to you kind of what we did last year. I don't know if that's ever been done in the past, but, you know, it's in there, and that's why I'm here today, and I thank you for putting me on the agenda, so. We did have 7 meetings this past year, of which 4 of those were our regular meetings. And, I think in front of you, I think I got a little list of things that we talked about, but, and 3 special meetings that, you allowed us to, have this past year. We did, have some moratoriums out there, wind and solar. I think we did them for 6 months, and, tonight, I know it's on your agenda, that, we need to extend those, both for 12 months and make that an official document, and I think we will talk about that in a little bit. The commission's main focus this past year was on wind. Of those 7 meetings, that's what we tried to accomplish, and, we didn't complete it, unfortunately. Hopefully, the goal this year is to complete that. Maybe for a lot of different reasons, some I'll get into here in a second, but, we had a lot of public feedback. Most of those were on wind. There was some on there talked a little bit about noise ordinance. I still think as a commission, we need to go back to that and talk about that as a commission, but, we had a lot of feedback on wind. Some positive, some negative. And, you know, we listed a lot of people, a lot of time investment into that whole piece. Until we hit a roadblock, and, that came up to be the conflict of interest, in our bylaws. Now we're looking at those. I know you talked about them at your last board meeting, and, hopefully we'll have some feedback from that. And we need to obviously look at that whole piece there as far as the conflict of interest, because in our bylaws, it doesn't really address a whole lot of that. We asked that you hire us some legal advisor, and you did, and I appreciate that, and it's much appreciated, and I thank you for that. I know there's some funds there when it comes to that whole piece there, but, I think it's a wise move on part of the township. What are we looking at for 2022? We need to take care of our bylaws, we need to take care of our wind ordinance. That's our main 2 focuses. We hope to get into the solar ordinance and the wind, or the master plan, and look at noise. We do need to get into that master plan, because obviously it's way outdated, so. My ask of you for this year, for our commission, is to look at some training. I know you talked about some training, some required training a few minutes ago. I know, Todd, you've been to some different training. I've looked at a lot of different bylaws, a lot of different townships, some of them talk about training for the commissioner, some don't. You know, I'm new as far as to that commission, I don't think, well, I know I had any training at all.
Montcalm, not Montcalm, Michigan Township Association does have, a couple times a year, have, sessions in various spots of the state.
And I would recommend that information be fed out there to our commission.
Do you get the, township, magazine?
I've actually got a pamphlet I just got that talks about that.
Okay. Because as commissioners, I mean, even not just myself, even the commissioners, we need some information. I mean, I got a little book, I think, that you gave me, Todd, that I've been reading, and there's just a lot of information that we need to learn. And obviously, part of the commissioners in some townships, they're required to do some training every year, and if they don't, then there's consequences to that, so.
But, no, any training you wanna go to, we'll be
MTA.
glad to. But, see that he gets put on that list for that township magazine.
Yeah.
So my ask of you is if you see that stuff, I mean, feed it to me, so I can feed it to the commissioners, because obviously I think it'll be a benefit to the township based on that whole piece there, so. My second ask or consideration for you is technology. You know, I don't know if the COVID funds would apply to some of that, but, we need some technology within this township, within this building, it's my belief. It's only one person's opinion, but that's my belief. We need some room technology in here. You know, we need some video for, surveillance, I guess, or even the technology for somebody to sit back and watch this meeting or our meeting take in motion live. That technology's out there today, and it's very easy to do, and if we have those funds and they're available for that, I would ask that we take a look at that. You know, sometimes people can't make it to these meetings, our meetings, and, they wanna see what's happening out there, and it's just another form or another way for us to get some information out there to our community, to our people that we support, if you will. So, I mean, I just think it's needed. And I know there's people in this room again today, like other previous meetings, that they tape it and they post it, but as a township, I mean, it's a pretty simple thing to do. You can just put it up in the ceiling and it tapes it. You can tape it from both different angles, the crowd too, so I mean, they can split the screen and you can see all that stuff, and it's just something that I think the township needs to consider when it comes to that. With that also being said, and I think, Todd, you took care of this, I think today, was that, I don't know why I, or maybe my commissioners, should have to use my personal phone or my personal email, for business with the township. I just don't think that I should have to. There's some pretty rude people out there. There really is. You know, I've been in retail for almost 33 years, and I've dealt with the public in those 33 years. You know, I'm gonna say for the most part, some of those people are very nice. But it's the rude ones that ruin it for everybody. And, you know, those people play the phone game too, and I'm done with it, I don't wanna deal with it, and I shouldn't have to deal with that. Just because maybe they have a personal agenda on something, if you will, so. My ask is for something to be done with that, and I know, Todd, you said there's a phone out there that, can be used for that, which I truly appreciate. And even with that being said, I was on the website earlier today, and I know the number has already been changed, where mine's been eliminated out there in a new number, which is good, because, I shouldn't have to deal with that BS, I guess, if I can say it that way. Which leads me to my point C there, safety. You know, I'll say, wow, what happened in your last meeting? It hit all kinds of media, whether it be newspaper, whether it be social media, whatever it may be. And we've been dealing with that as a planning commission too. Unfortunately, there's a couple of people in this township that are very rude. And I think it needs to be addressed. It truly does. We need a guideline, we need an official document, we need to get those people removed from our meetings. And I think it's possible to do some of that. I know there's some laws out there that we have to follow, but we have some business that we need to take care of too, as a commission, as a board meeting. And it's hard to do some of that stuff when you have somebody out there that won't follow the etiquette that, you know, treat people with dignity and respect. And it needs to be addressed. And as a commission, we can't do that, but as a board, maybe you could. You know, unfortunately, maybe a couple of those people that were involved with that were on my commission, and I apologize to you on that behalf, because those people are on my commission. And it's inappropriate behavior that shouldn't take place, whether it be in this building, whether it be outside this building, whether it be further from this building. We should all act as, to people with dignity and respect. But maybe some video for surveillance can address some of that. And we all need to be professional. Now, as an individual, one of those individuals obviously, didn't treat me with dignity and respect. Once inside this room, with another Cato Township residents, and twice outside this building. And I shouldn't have to put up with that. And if we have some video or surveillance, maybe that could be addressed, I don't know. But maybe that individual just needs to be removed from coming to some of these meetings if they can't obey. And some of those people obviously have been to other meetings in other townships and have done some of the same types of behavior, which is unethical. It's not right. So it's the safety of us as individuals, it's the safety of everybody sitting in this room, because somebody else can get hurt with those sorts of things. And nowadays, in today's society, you don't know what people are gonna do. It's sad, but you don't know. And we don't need a violent thing to happen in Cato Township. We just don't. So my ask of you is to maybe look at that, address that, if you could, and maybe come up with something so we can stop those people from having to deal with. It just isn't right, so. The master plan, we all know is past due. We need to get updated, and my ask to you is, we hired some legal advisors to address certain things, and they do have that as an expertise. My ask to you is, can I have some approval on that, for them to move forward, so we can start the moving process on that? Because it does need to get updated, it truly does, it's way from past due. It was due way before I even came onto the commission, so. And we need to survey, obviously, the township residents, even obviously the board, on what type of things that you want to see when it comes to that whole piece also. So I'd appreciate your vision, your feedback on that whole piece. Solar, the same thing. What's the vision of the board, what's the vision of the township? Can we get the legal advisor to look at that also, to move on that? Because we only have a few meetings for this year, and we have a lot of work to do, and they can do some behind the scenes work when it comes to that, to take care of that. And then, candidates for the planning commission growth. I know on your agenda you have somebody that's leaving that, and now, I know previously, when you had a board vacancy, we had a list of people that were interested in becoming part of the planning commission, which allowed us to add to our planning commission, which is truly appreciated. But is there a way for us to put some postings out there on the web? Is there a way out there to get some feedback, from the community when it comes to a posting in the paper or something, other than just this meeting and us talking about it? Because who knows who else is out there when it comes to that whole piece. FOIA, it's ironic it's on your agenda tonight too. I know it's a process, it's a procedure, it's something that everybody has to deal with. It's a great tool, depending on what side of the fence you're on, which is all right. But there's a lot of time and effort and energy spent when it comes to FOIA. And some of it may be, I guess, it all depends on who you are, because if you're the person requesting it, you want that information, there's a reason for that. But boy, oh boy, if you look at social media out there today, they get on an agenda and they wanna ask, hey, everybody, go out there and ask this question and FOIA this in each of your townships. And Todd, I know you spent hours and hours of looking for certain information. And there's a cost to that. And as a township, we don't have anything out there when it comes to FOIA in our rules, guidelines, bylaw, whatever it may be. We don't, I don't believe. And we need something out there, because some of that expense needs to be pushed back to all those individuals that keep requesting those on a continuous basis, I believe. That's up to you as a board, but it's just one person's opinion, if you will. So, I just think it needs to be looked at and have something out there, because there are townships that have a guideline, that have very specifics, forms, cost, when it comes to that. And it's spelled out black and white, and it's a pretty cool process. My second to last one, so I wanna go back to one. Compensation for my commissioners. when's the last time that's been looked at? You know, are we up to date? Is it competitive? Is it comparable to other townships? You know, I don't know, but I don't know when the last time it has been looked at. I know sometimes you all talk about compensation among yourselves when it comes to that whole piece. Other townships do, but, you know, is the planning commission looked at also? The one thing I wanna go back to is the technology piece that I missed, so sorry. The website. You know, I know that we partnered with, the village, which I think is awesome, because previously, me coming to this commission, there was no way to get information, there just wasn't. And we're still not where we need to be when it comes to that. If you go out there and look at some of our townships' websites, boy, they're pretty interactive, they're active, they're interactive. You can see stuff, you get stuff, I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. We're behind there, we truly are. And I think we have to take some of those funds that we have in the budget, maybe this is next year, but we need to spend some of that and get a website that's up to date. You know, I had 2 meetings out there that don't even have the information on the website. I think it's July and September. December we'll look at on Wednesday night, the meeting minutes I'm talking about. And they're not out there for the public to see, and they should be, and we're better than that. And this is Cato Township, and I think we can get that technology to use those types of pieces. Whether we continue with the village, that's not my decision. Whether we have our own, I don't know, but we just need to have something that's a better tool for our customers, our residents in Cato Township to get the information. So, I thank you for your time. Questions? I mean, I don't want to get a question thing, but
I thank you.
you're welcome.
You brought up some very, very good points.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The ARPA fund.
I'll take that. The federal government was kind enough to send us some COVID relief funds, as everybody probably knows. We already received $91,000 in what we call ARPA funds, American Rescue Plan. We are anticipating getting a second check by October, November of this year. It should total $183,000 all in total. We've tried to prioritize some things that we need to do. One of them is a roof on this building as it's starting to leak again. We were told 12 years ago that we had about 5 years left before the roof was gonna be gone, and we made it 12 years. Anyway, I have a quote from Keith's Roofing out of Stanton. To replace the roof in total was $32,705. That comes with a 2-year warranty, and a 15-year warranty is an additional $1,350. So I'm proposing, out of our ARPA funds, that we spend $34,055 to replace the roof with Keith's Roofing, and that's a motion.
Is there a support? Support it. Been moved, supported, discussion.
Is that the only bid that we have?
That's the only one I got, yeah. We don't have a formal bid process in place. Keith's has quoted this is the 3rd quote they've given us in 12 years. And it's the same price as it was the last time we gave a quote.
You talked to Jordan about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
He thought
He thought it'd be between 40 and 50,000.
Now, will they put the roof right over this roof?
No, they take the old off, they take the gutters off. They replace downspout gutters, flashings, pitch pockets, corner flashings, 4-inch metal edges, trimmed in white, remove all the old haul away, dispose of the old gutter. I suppose they fix insulation if it's necessary at the same time.
On the underliner.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Along the same road here, again, on ARPA funding, last week, if everybody remembers, we had, talked about the fact that we'd like to partner with the Village of Lakeview and the downtown development and possibly extend the trail around the lake so you could go all the way around the lake instead of halfway around the lake. We have since formed an ad hoc committee consisting of two, village councilmen, an EDA member, and myself and Jordan Lindsay from the Township. We met last Thursday night. We had asked Darren Doder, village manager, to lead us down that path, no pun intended. But he's done some extensive research here, to what we may or may not be able to do regarding a trail around the lake. We have zero idea on cost at this point. The DDA has put up $7,500 to kick it off and help fund it. Darren has, at this point, applied for what's called a 2022 Planet Award. It's a grant through Consumers Power. It could be as much as $250,000 if we're successful. No guarantee. He's also been in contact with the Meyer Foundation and the Lakeview Area Community Fund for possible donations, so. Our ad hoc committee, if you will, is working, toward this goal. We're gonna meet again soon. Today, what we're asking for, or what I'm asking for, is we commit $7,500 from ARPA funds, to go towards this. We feel we're gonna need to hire either a land planner or an engineer. There's gonna be probably at least two places where there's private property involved. We may need to secure an easement. We may be able to get a utility easement through the power company, one of them. And then, there's some areas that have to be filled. And the road commission is involved because they have access to gas tax money that can pave roads that are non-motorized. So, we got a lot of things in the works. But at this point, what I'd like to do is commit $7,500 to go towards this project.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Motion's been moved, supported, any discussion? I think it's a worthy
Well,
cause.
it satisfies COVID mitigation because it's outdoor recreation. We already have a pathway that goes about halfway around the lake. We're dealing with, I guess it'd be at the east and south side of the lake where there's some private property, and then Tamarack Road. We're engaging with the C&O Railroad to see if it's possible to use the railroad tracks as part of the pathway. At the same time, the village is putting in a trail that, correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, I think it's 13 acres for mountain bike out behind the Dollar General. Maybe possible to connect all this together, we don't know yet. We're to the point we feel where we need somebody that can help us with some planning. That's the reason for the ask, if you will.
Motion's been made and